basically with my experience of wine, which has always been had little to do with the actual sort of description of wine, what the flavors are, and more to do with what's going to come tonight. Bringing people together, connecting, and really lending to deep conversation, and in my experience anyways, or idea creation. And so this is what the table was set up to hold great conversations. And we said, what if we could make a table that remembers those conversations? So we've been playing with these little cameras that you see. And we thought we had a really good system, but it has failed completely. So
smile, you're not on.
Yeah, smile, you're not on camera. Thank you for playing with us on our little beta test.
This would be a remarkable way to make them drop their guards if they actually were recording.
If they actually were recording, yes.
The exceptional mind game.
I see a red flashing light. That means that something's recording over there.
I don't know what's happening.
I'll come back.
But no, rest assured,
Good point.
we wanted to create a space that was very comfortable. And the dinners that we had last year, we did a couple of these really sort of feeling out the idea and seeing if they would affect the conversation, the presence of these pieces of technology. And as far as we can tell, if we get the food and the wine right, the technology sort of fades away. And I'm looking forward to a really great conversation tonight, even without the cameras.
I think should we jump in? So yeah, that idea of a table, people might, again, like, why would you attach cameras to a table? And really, the table has had this long, long history of moving culture forward and bringing people together, making remarkable things happen, and then taking those experiences and distributing them through people. Like, that's how we got epic poetry. That's how we got song. That's how we got a lot of prayer. That's how we got a lot of culture and tradition. And so now we don't have that. And so it was like, well, let's merge in many ways, like the way that we're going to be talking about the body. Like, what happens when you take, you know, this thing that we know so well, and you take technology and you put them together. Like, what does that do? It makes you feel a little bit uncomfortable. Technology in the body makes people feel a little bit uncomfortable, the idea of it. But it's already happening, it's happened. So it's, technology is at this table. We've just made it more apparent. You have your phones, you can record this all very slyly. If you want to.
Actually, it's happening under
I thought we'd offer
we
more
put
elegant,
a plant in the audience.
a more elegant solution. We'll get into this idea of the body electric after we bring some food.
Wise man.
Yeah, so let me feed you. And the other thing we're going to do is we're going to make a little more room at the table. It looks like our cup runneth over, which is a great thing. And but before we do make more room, let me tell you what you're going to eat. So first thing, Lauren's father caught a beautiful halibut this summer in Alaska.
Hold it up onto the boat with his bare hands, headbutt it.
So that halibut was immediately frozen. It's in perfect condition, and we took corn husks, wrapped it in corn husks. Some of you guys saw that. That was happening out in our little open kitchen. So there's herbs from the garden, and that it'll be grilled, and you'll just open that up, and hopefully it'll be perfect. And then there's grits. Since we've got it cooking in the corn husk, it seemed like it'd be great to have grits. And these are like really amazing stone ground grits from North Carolina, from this little farm that does this like small batch. And so that seemed appropriate. And those are pretty much the only two ingredients that didn't come from Trefethen Vineyards. We picked up one or two vegetables at the farmer's market today, but pretty much everything else, olive oil. You guys aren't harvesting salt yet. There was some honey, but I mean literally everything else. So what we did, and Michaela and I cooked all day today. probably one of the most glorious places to cook on the planet. So, I don't know if we deserve applause. Maybe we can be envious. But so we took some Italian red peppers, sweet peppers, roasted them, and then there's a walnut sauce and some toasted walnuts that'll go on top of that. Then there is what else? Some tomatoes with shishito peppers, the little green peppers that are generally mild. Occasionally there's a hot one that have been tossed in a little like pea stew over these amazing heirloom tomatoes. There's carrots, and then we took kumquats and cooked them in Trefethen Riesling with some golden raisins. So carrots and golden raisins. And then there's beets, little baby beets from the garden, and Greek yogurt. Am I forgetting anything?
Probably.
Maybe. Well, it's gonna come out family style, and so the idea with family style is you take a little bit and you pass it along, and it'll get a little bit chaotic on this table as we make room and everything. So I'm gonna go make this food happen, and then we'll jump in to this conversation that we've been scheming about for months.
Yes,
So,
and sort of in anticipation of that, I'd love if you'd all join me in raising your glass and join me in a toast that I came up with in really relationship to this whole project. And that is, in a perfect world, may your glass stay full and your mind open.
Cheers.
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 Cheers.